Hi guys, in this video we're going to ask, what is a force? We'll look at contact forces, non-contact forces, and then we'll finish with a summary.
So what is a force? A force is a push or a pull on an object. For example, when we push on a door like this, we could say we were exerting a force in that direction. On the other hand, if we were to pull on a door, we would say that we were exerting a force in this direction. In particular, in each case, we would say that we were exerting a force on the door. A force is always a result of an object interacting with something. For example, when two objects interact, a force will act on each of those objects. For example, if we try and push a block along a table, we know full well that we are exerting a force on the block in this direction. But also, the block is pushing back on our hand and exerts a force on our hand in this direction. Now it turns out that we can categorize forces into two types. Forces can be either contact forces or non-contact forces. So what does this idea mean? Well, two objects must be touching for a contact force to act. So let's imagine, for example, that these two objects here were exerting forces on each other. Say they were being pulled towards each other or pushed away from each other. Then since they are in contact, we would call this a contact force. On the other hand, if a force acts between objects that are not touching, then we say this is a non-contact force. That is, they are not in contact with each other. So if these two objects, which are not touching, were to exert forces on each other, maybe they'd be pulled towards each other or pushed away from each other, then since they are not touching, they would be experiencing non-contact forces. Let's look at some examples of contact forces. For a start, we can think about a human pushing or pulling on something. Well, we know that we have to be touching an object in order to push or pull it. So that's an example of a contact force. Another example is friction. In order for there to be friction on a moving body, it must be touching a rough surface. We know that friction always stops us moving how we would like to, so friction typically points in the opposite direction to our motion.
Hey guys, to continue watching this video and unlock hundreds of other super concise and exam board specific GCSE physics and combined science videos, just click on the Snap Revise smiley face. Join me today and let's make physics at GCSE a walk in the park.